evening, Blue Jackets fans. I am Ashleigh Ignelzi, and it goes without saying that there have been happier times in Blue Jackets country. And with that, we bring in our Blue Jackets expert for On the Bench, Dave Seaman. Dave, discuss the state of the team right now. They're coming off of a 4-game road loss. They're currently 20-19-3 right now. Break it down. Discuss what's going on with this team right now.
Well, what a difference a month, 6 weeks makes. You know, we were here talking around Thanksgiving about battling Detroit for first place in not only the Central Division, but in the Western Conference. And eerily, just like a year ago, the Blue Jackets have had that December swoon and fell basically out of contention once again. They went from 4 points up, as far as 4 points above the line of 8th place, to right now 6 points below that spot. And they're currently 6-13-3 since Thanksgiving, and you know when it comes down to it, it's all about consistency.
Right. Well, obviously, lack thereof consistency. But another issue with this team right now is a lot of fans, to the dismay of them, Mike Commodore is no longer a Blue Jacket. It was a bit of a messy situation, Dave. What is your take on that?
It was totally mishandled. I mean, you know, Scott Arniel said that Mike Commodore is not one of the top 6 defensemen on this team. Mind you, he's making almost $4 million, and in my opinion, the guy is probably in our top 3. Again, that's my opinion. Mike Commodore should be on this team. He should be playing. He's getting the short end of the stick for whatever reason. They say it's personal. They say it's not personal. It's like watching Days of Our Lives right now between Scott Arniel and Mike Commodore. And so, you know, Scott Howson now has to make a decision. What do you do with Mike Commodore? He's asked for a trade, and not only is it affecting, obviously, Commodore, his career, but it's affecting the team. I mean, this all came out last Friday, and then the Jackets went ahead and got their butt spanked in Anaheim, and for 2 periods played like they didn't care in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You know, they were able to come back and make a game in LA, but the bottom line is, when you're hearing about trade rumors and the possibility of other players moving, it's going to affect this team.
Like sand through the hourglass, so are the Columbus Blue Jackets. All right, I'm going to keep it going here, and I need your opinion on this one. You're going to play president, GM, if you will. What needs to happen with this team? Whether that is in the front office, changes need to be made, trades need to be made. If you were in control of this team, what would you do?
Well, first of all, as far as I'm concerned, you know, I think as we've done these over the years, it's been very easy to be even-keeled, to be very fair, to be very supportive. But as someone who is a fan first, I'm frustrated, just like most of the people up in the press box with us, much like the 12,000 that are here tonight or that come to the games. If I'm the president, I'm saying, hey, you know what? General Manager Scott Howson, the heat is now on you.
Yeah.
You have to do something. We changed, it's mainly his team now. You brought in a new head coach. It is now on Scott Howson to go out and do something. It is time to shake up this roster. Whether that means trading a Rick Nash or trading a Derek Brassard or a Jake Voracek, something has to give. You know, for 10 years it's been the Blue Jackets need a puck-moving defenseman and they need a center. Have we ever done anything about it?
Right.
You know, 2 years ago, coming off the playoffs, Scott Howson did nothing.
Yeah.
He got rid of our 3 best centermen and 3 veteran leaders, and of course I'm talking about Michael Peca, Jason Williams, and Manny Malhotra. Okay, last year the team struggled. The end of last season, we clearly needed help, and what did Scott Howson do? Nothing. He brought in Ethan Morrow, he picked them up off of waivers. He did nothing to improve this team. He put all of his eggs in one basket, and that basket was Nikita Filatov. Well, Nikita's in Springfield right now, not helping the Blue Jackets. So, you know, if I'm management, if I'm Scott Howson, I'm on the phones, and from what we hear, he's been the most active general manager over the last, couple days. But let's be honest. If you're a general manager of Atlanta or Los Angeles or New York, who on this team do you want?
Yeah.
So, Scott Howson, in my opinion, there's 2 ways of looking at it. Like I said, you make a move, or I look at it from the employee standpoint. If I'm an employee or if I'm a player, then I like Scott Howson, because Scott Howson is basically saying, you know what, I believe in my team, I believe we can fix this within. Well, it's been 2 years and nothing's happening.
Quick question, how hot is Scott Howson's seat?
I would say that he's got to do something. It may not happen now, and I mean, got to remember, he's a lawyer, so he's going to be very patient, he's going to be very deliberate. That's his demeanor. I think that if this team continues to free-for-all and he does nothing, I don't think ownership will make the move, but you got to think he's on that hot seat.
All right,
there will be some difficult conversations in the offseason if he doesn't do something.
Oh, to be a fly on the wall, huh? All right, so let's keep that crystal ball out and look forward to the Blue Jackets. What is up next for them schedule-wise?
Well, after the Jackets and Coyotes Tuesday night at Nationwide, for the second time this season, the Jackets have a back-to-back with the Detroit Red Wings. So, you know, the good news is Chris Osgood's out for 6 weeks, but of course, Jimmy Howard, who's basically become their #1 goaltender, is pretty darn good, and well, it's still the Red Wings. So, yeah, that, and then you go down south. You got Florida, Tampa Bay, and then you finish that road trip at St. Louis. Another team, another game that another building where you don't really have a lot of success. Then you come home. You have the Anaheim Ducks to end really the first half or the pre-All-Star portion of the schedule. I mean, here we are. We're now in game number 42. We're halfway through the season.
Yeah.
So, you know, for those people who say, oh, well, you know, here we go again, the Jackets are out of it, it's probably still a little premature. They string together 4 or 5 wins in a row here. They're right back there where they need to be. So there's still a lot of hockey to play. But R.J. Umberger put it best on Monday. He said, you know, we need to start winning games so that the games in March are meaningful. And remember, 2 years ago, we were marching on to the playoffs. That's what's got to happen. In order for us to be playing in front of big crowds and having hope, the Jackets got to start winning some games right now.
Real quick, Dave, All-Stars, Blue Jacket All-Stars.
Rick Nash named to his 5th straight All-Star game, or his 4th or 5th appearance, with the exception of course, the Olympic year, where there was no All-Star game last year, and then, of course, the lockout year. Nash now a 4-time All-Star. You know, it's always an honor. It's always a great. Nash has got great numbers. He almost had a hat trick in, I think, his 2nd All-Star game. You know, he is a superstar in the league. You know, and that brings me to another thing that we should mention: the lack of respect Rick Nash gets.
Yeah.
The penalties that should be called when Rick Nash gets high-sticked, when he gets slashed, when he gets interfered with. It's time for Rick Nash to stand up and really start defending himself. And you're starting to see that a little bit more and more and more. But he is a bona fide star in the National Hockey League, and he deserves to be an All-Star again.
Well, good for Nasher. And Dave, as always, great reporting. Dave Seaman, Blue Jackets expert for Columbus Wire TV. And until next time, I am Ashleigh Ignelzi.